everybody. Welcome back to The Late Show, live from Chicago. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guest tonight is a former senator and Secretary of State who made history as the first woman to be nominated for president by a major political party. Fun fact, she got the most votes. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Hillary Rodham Clinton. Well, Madam Secretary, thanks so much for coming back. It's nice to see you again.
It is so great seeing you here in Chicago.
And welcome back to Chicago. You're an Illinois girl.
I was born in Chicago. I was raised in Park Ridge. I graduated from Maine High School South after going to Maine East for a bunch of years, and still have a huge number of friends. Still would never ever put ketchup on a hot dog. I have all of my Chicago experiences, you know?
There you go. Okay, just came from the first night of the DNC here in 24. How did it feel to be back up on that stage? Because it looked like it felt pretty good.
It felt so good because, I mean, the whole atmosphere was incredible. It was electrifying, and
I would say it's the second best audience in Chicago tonight.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, technically, this is a very political answer. Technically, that was the best audience last night.
Touché. Well done.
But this is by far the best audience today or anywhere, right? And this theater, I mean, don't you want to, like, come here every month? I mean, this is just amazing.
Yes.
Look at this.
Well, every time I'm in Chicago, I think, why did I ever leave? This is the greatest city in the world.
It's such a great city.
Well, let's get back to the DNC. Let's get back to the DNC.
Yeah.
The last time you stood before that crowd was in 2016 when you accepted the nomination.
Right.
Here we are right there. There you are.
Oh, my
There's
gosh.
that night we all remember well.
Back in the day.
You made history.
Yeah.
8 years later, what sticks with you about that night?
About the 2016
night, yeah.
You know, in many ways, it was so overwhelming to be there, to be on that stage, to accept that nomination. You know, I think back on it, and I was just so overcome by, you know, the emotion of the moment, the meaning of it historically, and could not have been, you know, more moved or more honored. But it was kind of a blur in a way, because there was so much going on, and we were getting geared up for the campaign. But it was the same feeling of hope and real optimism that, you know, we could continue the progress that had been made under President Obama over the prior 8 years. So it was just an overwhelming moment for me.
Well, tonight you gave
Tonight
a powerful
was very
speech.
different.
You gave a powerful speech tonight, and I'm curious, you touched on many things, but if there's one thing you want people to take from the speech tonight, what would it be?
That, you know, I really know Kamala Harris's heart, her integrity. I think she has the character, experience, and vision to be our president, and I hope the American people agree. I mean, that's really what my argument was.
Well, tonight, President Biden gave a quite moving speech.
Yes, he did.
And passed the torch selflessly and patriotically to Kamala Harris. You've seen a lot in politics. You've been around the block, lady, and you've seen a lot of shocking things. Did this surprise even you, this turn of events over the last month?
Yes and no. I mean,
That's a very political answer.
no, it was. Yeah, I kind of, live in the world of yes and no because yes, it was shocking for any leader to voluntarily give up power. But I thought that was one of the most selfless acts of patriotism I'd ever seen, that the president was ready and willing to do that. As you could see from the speech tonight, he got so much done. I said in my speech that, he returned decency and dignity and competence to the White House. And he got an enormous amount of, legislation through, the relationships with our allies around the world, standing up to adversaries like Putin and Russia. I mean, you look at his record, it was pretty remarkable. And it will go down in history as a great achievement. And for him to, decide, okay, it's time for me to pass the torch and to let my vice president go forward, I was so touched by that. I've known the president a long time. I've served with him. I was a colleague of his in the Senate. I was Secretary of State when he was vice president in the Obama administration. And what he said, and I think you had this clip, Stephen, from the song that he and his family like so much. He really has given his best. He gave his best to his family under the most excruciating, painful circumstances. He gave his best to the state of Delaware that he represented for so many years, and he's given his best to our country. That may seem a little old-fashioned to some people. I think it is in the highest, standard of service and leadership that our country has to offer. And I'm so proud of him, and I thought tonight was a great moment.
I agree. I think that and disagreeing with the Supreme Court over immunity is one of the most patriotic things he could have done.
100%.
Now, you have a new book.
Yes.
It's called Something Lost, Something Gained, where you write about moving past your dream of being president.
Right.
And how does it feel now to see a woman who's not you reaching for that same dream?
Well, I thought a lot about what it would feel like. And I have to say, it feels really good. It felt exhilarating. It feels exciting. Maybe because I've known Kamala and have a lot of confidence in her and what she's capable of doing. I think I know how hard the job is and have concluded she is more than ready to take it on. But when the president decided to step aside and then quickly endorsed his vice president, my husband and I quickly endorsed her as well because we thought it was the right thing to do. And we thought that she deserved it and she'd earned it. So look, it is something lost, something gained. And, I'll be back actually in this theater on October 13th to talk about the book. So I'm very much, looking forward to that.
We're live, so we've got to go here for a second. But before we go, have you spoken to Joe Biden since he has stepped aside?
Yes, several times. And in fact, tonight, both Bill and I spent time with him and Jill.
Is he mad at people who made jokes about the debate?
He did not mention your name.
Secretary Clinton, thanks so much for being here. The book is Something Lost, Something Gained. Hillary Rodham Clinton, everybody.